All right, so we are going to do an audit on Brooms and Roses today. So the first thing that we do with an audit is we check and see if you can Google them and if they show up. Now, it does depend on where you're located. So just to make it more applicable to a local person, we are going to be looking in Toronto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab somewhere in Toronto, around the area. So say this company that we're going to be looking at is they are in Mississauga. So I'm going to grab Mississauga, or I'm at least going to find somewhere nearby. And I'll spoof my location. So one thing that I'll do is wherever the center is, we can generally grab something from near there, but even if we're at the Sky Zone Trampoline Park, we're just going to grab the address because we'll spoof it and then go from there. So if I grab that and I come up to, this is the GS location change plugin. Close that. I don't want to be on that. I want to search. Oh, they changed this. Okay. Let's do that. And then change it. So if I search now, get rid of that. Now I can go Brooms and Roses. We don't want Toronto. We just want Brooms and Roses. So what we do first is check for brand. Now, do they have a brand? Is their brand set up? Do they have related profiles that are showing for their brand? Now, the first thing you see is they have their website. So we can open that up, confirm, yes, this is their website. There's a Google Business Profile, and we can see that it is showing an address. I doubt that is. I don't think it should be, because people won't be coming to their home to get services. They go to other people's homes to get services. So this should be a service area business. But that's besides the point. What we're going to look at is branding and presence online. For those of you familiar with Dennis Yu, he would consider this, are you Googleable? And so that's what we're going to be looking at. How does Google see this company? So Brooms and Roses, their website shows up at the top. I just want to go through a few of these. This is how we'll do it to make sure that we have the right business. So they're Lakeshore, so that is their business. Yeah. Setting up with ZenMaid, Homestars. That is good. We want to make sure that all of the social profiles are here, that need to be here. So there's posts, they're actively posting. Let's see when, sure, we'll continue as me. And then we'll be able to look at a few more things. So when was it posted, that sort of stuff. 2 days ago, awesome. That's great. Now, when you're looking at the content that's being posted, what you want to see, because this is a house cleaning or a cleaning service, we want to see things that are related to cleaning. So having these photos, these are videos, this is good. It's good stuff to have. We've got reels and then different tagged things. So obviously they're in Toronto, that's all good stuff. So that is good. Yelp, is there Yelp listing? Does it have the right website? Does it have the right phone number? It might be a different one. We've got photos of dirty dishes, clean, that stuff. The thing about this is there's no cleaning either happening or cleaning supplies or anything like that. It's just pictures of either a clean kitchen or dirty dishes. So I would recommend adding more variety in the photos that say more about what you do and who you are. So now we can see right away that when you're searching this term, even though we're in Mississauga, Google isn't quite sure what's going on, or if we're searching for the local Brooms and Roses. So Brooms and Roses Cleaning, you can see, is the name of the Google business profile. That is not the name of the URL. So Brooms and Roses Cleaning. So now there's a bit of confusion. So Google will serve alternate listings to see, are they going to be clicking on the primary one I'm serving, or are they going to be looking for something a little bit different? Is the search intent different? So that's normal. It's normal to see that, but what we would really like to see is this brand being so prominent that all these branded profiles are going to show up here. So as we go farther, we see the Home Stars, which is related to them. There, you can see it's repairing for Toronto. So this should have a link back to their website. In an ideal world, we've got broomsandroses.com. It's good. And do they have any photos on here? A few. Let's see, look at a few more photos. No, there's no more. Okay. So you can see there's additional roses and broom cleaning, so additional branding. So the first thing that we'll need to do is establish more of the brand. And the way that we're going to do that is through the social profiles, but also through local listings like business directory listings. You can see Bertha Rodriguez is the owner. And so there's a LinkedIn profile related to this. The company should have a LinkedIn profile as well. So you want your brand to have all of the social profiles related to the brand and the business, and then if you have personal profiles, they'll show up in the feed as well. But you want to get those set up for the company. So that's the first thing that we look at. So the second thing that we want to look at to see if they have additional business directory listings and stuff like that. So one of the tools that we can use to do that is the Moz local listing checker. So I'll pull that up and we can put the information in. So right now we're going to do Canada, and I like to grab it from the Google business profile. So we'll do Brooms and Roses Cleaning. Because they have an address, we will use that, and it's showing on here. And then the zip and postal code. These are pretty basic checks, right? These are the basics. This is the foundation, and a lot of people will sign up with SEO companies and they pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and this is what they're going to do. And so we're going to go through this, look at these things, and then provide more actionable insight on what can be done, how do you do it, so that you could take this video, you could do it yourself, and then if you need help with it, we can work with you on that. So we're going to check this, and it works pretty quick. So what this is looking at is the listing that you have on Google, and then the name, the address, the phone number, and then the website that is listed, and to see if you have the primary or the key directory listings built. If you don't, this is something that we'll do because we are on the monthly service. So we'll get this set up. That's not going to happen on the video though. But you can see how you've got your Google, your listing, your Google Maps, where to. So this is all your GPS stuff. Oops. So that's important. That's really good that you have that on there. And then Foursquare is not available on there. And so there's lots of room to improve it. This is what we see. And these are pretty consistent. So you've got hours on them. There's no photos or very few photos. So that's something that we can improve on. Like if we go back to the Google Business Profile, there's no reviews as well, and there's no photos. And so those are things that we're going to want to get on there. We want FAQs on there. We want this profile built out. So we'll list your services, provide service descriptions, all that stuff, and then we can start posting as well. And we'll encourage you to do that. We can show you how to do that. So now we've looked at the local listings. So there's definitely work to be done creating the local listings. And what these will do is create, it's kind of like a vote for your business, a link back to your website. So when Google's crawling around on the internet and they see these listings show up that reference your business, your brand name specifically, with the phone number, the website, and the address, it's all going to be more consistent across the web once we build it out. And then that will help provide more trust. So Google's going to look at those and go, okay, so this is a real business. There's all these other listings around. These are more trustworthy listings. And so this is good. We can start showing those in the search results. And then what we'll see is when we're looking here, some of those other listings are going to start showing up here as well. Now, another thing that we like to do outside of directory listings is what does it look like with images? And as you can see, Brooms and Roses, when we pull up an image search with that, we do not see your brand. So there is a photo from your Facebook page, but it doesn't really identify your brand. So that is it seems like your branded image. So that's what's showing up here. And then I noticed that there's a few other photos that are scattered in. But for the most part, you don't own the term Brooms and Roses in the image search. And so that's something that we'll be working on as well. Really what we want to see is when you search for Brooms and Roses, you want to have all your stuff plastered all over the images. You want it all over these blue links. So all of the search engine results page listings, you want it to show up on there. And then any video. So if you have video, which you do, and this is awesome, you have all these little videos for Instagram. If we can get those videos and then we can send them out to your other social profiles. So we want to get YouTube set up. We want all of these going out everywhere. And so your brand and your business shows up all over the internet, and then you'll dominate this branded search. And then as Google recognizes you as an entity, as Brooms and Roses, as this brand, now your cleaning services are going to show up as well, and Google will recognize that, hey, this is a cleaning company in Toronto or in Mississauga. You serve all these different areas, and so now you're going to get a lot higher trust on the internet. So that's the approach we want to take. Now we want to look at the website. Does the website offer everything that we need? So when we land on it, the first thing we see is Brooms and Roses. This is your company. You have your logo image, but you have cleaning your worries away, but this first image doesn't necessarily represent who you are, what your business is about. And so when we land on this website, the first thing we want to see is the visible area above the bottom of the screen. This is called the above the fold. And we want to be able to recognize your business, your brand from this image right away, especially because this is on the homepage of your website. So we land here. I don't really know what this is all about. But the photo doesn't necessarily represent your brand. So those are things that we'll want to change. We want to work on those. We want to make sure that you have proper headings and calls to action on the website. And one thing that we can do is just to see what your headings are on the page. We've got an H1, but it's empty. And then a few H3s, an H2, another H2. So the logical heading structure is not there. It's broken. Ideally, we'd want the H1, and then within the H1 or under the H1, we want H2s, and then within H2s, we want H3s. So there's a logical flow to the headings. The HTML structure of the page is logically set up. And so that is another thing that we'll be working on with you to fix the website. So we can go through, we can see all your images. That's good. You've got a little blurb about, we can change some of these headings so that they make more sense. Your H1 should have some sort of title or text included in it, and so we'll have to fix that. I don't believe, or I don't know where we will find that. So the H1, there's supposed to be a heading or something here. This is supposed to be a heading across here, but there's nothing there. So we'll be working with you on that to fix it so that Google has a better understanding of your website. Now, you've got this little blurb that says welcome. This is good. It's great to have that stuff. And then you've got a photo here of a TV and a cabinet. Ideally, you want to make this a bit more personable. So when when they land on the site, they're like, oh, should I hire this company? Who are they? Now, this is the home page, so you don't necessarily need all that. You have an about page. So we're going to navigate to the about page. So you're heading here. I believe you're going to have that H1 still on the page. Yeah, so you still have the H1 in this section here that's missing. You have the exact same photo. This doesn't really say anything about you guys as a company. So that's something that we'll want to work on, getting some more photos, things like that. Professional cleaning company with years of industry experience. Great. About us. It would be awesome to have photos of you, personal photos. Like, who are you? And what you find is when people land on a website, people buy from people they trust. And so if they can see you, you're a real person, people connect with real people. And so that's something that's really important on a website like this. People want to see you. They want to know who's going to be coming into their home, who they're going to be working with, who they're hiring. So it helps build trust. So the About Us page, you can make it more personal. You can include images about you, a little bit of your background, stuff like that. That would be really helpful. We've got an Explore Our Services button down here. So overall, it's a really simple website. We've got services. What do we offer? Now, another thing that we'd like to see is a page for each of the services that you offer. All these different cleaning services, they are different. They're not all just included in one thing. And so you may offer move in and move out cleaning. You're going to do different things in move in and move out cleaning than you will in just a general clean or pre-sale or pre-stage cleaning. These are all going to include a different list of checks and different ways that you clean. So each of these should have a different page, a separate page on the website. That way we can target those specific services, and then we can also provide something called internal linking, where we can link from page to page. So you can have this services page, and then we'd create the general cleaning service page, and we'd create the move in and move out cleaning service page. And we would link to those from here. So something along those lines, that's how we would make it work. And then you've got schedule an appointment. So coming soon, you'll put the form in there. That we've briefly talked about that. And then service areas. So request a free quote. Get in touch with us today. I can follow our official Facebook and Instagram pages. So logically, you want to link to your Facebook and Instagram pages. I don't see those, so you have an inquiry form. I would have those icons here or something that goes to those pages so people can find them easier. So I did notice that you don't have the social stuff listed on the website, so those are things that we'll be adding into. And then, so we serve all clients within a 50-mile radius of Toronto, Ontario. That's huge. When you're dealing with a local market, because you guys are in Mississauga, it's close to Toronto, but I would be focusing on like a 10-mile radius in Mississauga. So we're going to work with that and your Google Business Profile. Even though you have your entire province, you have the province of Ontario, you don't really have service areas listed. We're going to have to work in a smaller area. 50 miles, to communicate 50 miles as a radius, it's 100 miles across. That's a massive, massive area. And we won't be able to do that with the Google Business Profile. So even though you can communicate some of that on the website, we're not going to be doing that with the Google Business Profile or in a local space. So that's just not how it will work. Google's got rules around service area, and it's got to be a maximum of 2 hours driving distance. So for you to list that, but what we will do is list all the places that you do provide services on the website here. And then we can start to work on building out individual landing pages for those areas to make them more locally relevant, and then to provide a little bit more context around how you provide services there. So those are all things that we're going to work towards working on this. So the other thing that I wanted to bring up is you have Brooms and Roses Cleaning on here, and I don't see that anywhere else except Brooms and Roses, and then you've got cleaning services. So what we'll do is I wanted to see, we're going to look at Ontario Business Registry search. We'll see if this pops up. This is a new thing that Canada's been putting in place. So we want Brooms and Roses. Not all businesses are in here yet. So you may or may not show up in here. So you don't. Not yet. So what we'll do then is we would look in the Ontario registry. Because if we can, one thing that's really important is how your business is communicated on the web. You want it to be consistent. And so we're going to search for the Ontario Business Registry. Brooms and Roses. Maybe we don't necessarily want exact match. We'll leave that. All status. Just do a search and see what we find. So it doesn't look like we have your business listed anywhere. Blooms and Brooms, Brooms and Roses, relief program. Brooms and Roses, Inc. That is active. So I'm not sure if that's you or not, but at least there is a registration here. So that must be you, which is good. So it's good news. It doesn't have any other info, but you'll see that the registered or head office address is different. So it's not in Mississauga. But that's okay. We'll just have to deal with that. Or you may want to go in and update that. So initially, overall things look pretty good. We've got lots of room to work with the website and improve that. There's lots of room to improve with the directory listings and establishing your brand as a more authoritative entity. We can build out your Google Business profile more, get photos, all that stuff. So there's lots to do in order to establish the foundation. You've already got a good start. You've got the profiles, you've got your Facebook, your Instagram, you're doing videos on that, which is awesome. And then maybe we can get the videos and then help send them out over the web and blow it up. We want Google to understand who Brooms and Roses is, and so you can own this search for your brand. That's the first thing. So that's foundational in getting your website and your business set up online, owning your brand. And then the next thing that you want to do is start going after local search terms. So I'm going to, in another window, I'm going to pull this up. So I know this is going to be live. That's okay. We're not going to look at anything crazy here. So when we are looking at the traffic, though, right now you're only really showing up for Brooms, and so this is where we're going to be able to get your brand set up as a brand, as an entity online, where it's recognized by Google will get you more visibility on your branded terms, and then you'll start to show up for more of the cleaning terms. And so what's going to happen is your business is going to be showing up for House Cleaners Mississauga or Home Cleaning Service Mississauga or things like that. Those kinds of terms. That's where people are going to start calling you when you show up for those terms, and they go and they check out your website and they see your business, and so that's where we're going to be working towards. But the first thing we have to do is own the brand. So that's step number one. Get all this stuff built out, your profiles, and then we will go from there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we will continue this series of optimizing your listing and getting your brand set up.